At the airport baggage carousel, there was one suitcase that went around and around, a silent, solitary traveler. Black, medium-sized, with a bright red tag that said, "Return to Miller," in bold, confident letters. I watched it circle 3 times, a lonely satellite in a universe of reclaimed luggage, before walking up to the weary-looking attendant. "No one's picking that one up," I said, pointing. She scanned the tag, her expression shifting from boredom to a quiet gravity. She made a quick call, her voice low. Then she came back, her professional composure softened by a genuine sadness. "It belongs to a passenger from Flight 218. He didn't make it home." Her voice cracked a little as she explained. "Massive heart attack during landing. They tried, but..." I nodded, a hollow feeling opening in my chest for a man I'd never met. 2 days later, on my return flight, I saw the same suitcase again, this time stacked behind the lost baggage counter, looking smaller and more forlorn. I asked the clerk if they'd contacted the family. "It's pending processing," he said, not unkindly. "It takes time. Something in me couldn't let it sit there in bureaucratic limbo." I asked if I could deliver it personally. "I live near the address," I lied, the words feeling right even as they left my mouth. The clerk hesitated, looking from me to the suitcase, then finally handed it over with a sigh. "Please be careful with it." The address was an hour's drive away, a small blue house with peeling paint and a porch full of wind chimes that sounded like gentle metallic sighs. I knocked. A woman in her 60s answered, her eyes red-rimmed, but her posture steady. "Mrs. Miller?" I asked softly. She nodded, her gaze falling to the suitcase in my hand. I held it up. He left this behind." Her hands trembled as she took the weight of it from me. "He always joked," she said, a watery smile touching her lips, "that if he went first, I'd get the suitcase, and he'd get the sky." She unzipped it right there on the porch, the sound loud in the quiet afternoon. Inside were neatly folded clothes, a worn paperback, and a sealed envelope labeled in his handwriting, "Open when I don't come home." She looked at me, tears now falling freely. "Would you stay for a cup of tea? I don't want to read this alone." We sat in her sunlit kitchen while she read the letter aloud. It wasn't a grand declaration, but simple, everyday love full of reminders to pay the gas bill, half-formed jokes about the neighbors, and one last, perfect line. "If this reaches you without me, just know every return trip I ever took was always, always toward you." I helped her fold his clothes, the fabric still holding the faint scent of his cologne, and pack them neatly back into the suitcase. Before I left, she took my hand. "I'm glad someone cared enough to bring him the final mile home." That night, I couldn't stop thinking about how many suitcases go around the carousel of life waiting, unclaimed, carrying the simple, precious cargo of a life that mattered deeply to someone. So now, whenever I travel, I write my wife's name and our address inside every bag, on a piece of paper, tucked into the lining, not for security, but as a quiet prayer, so someone will know exactly who to bring it to, and whose heart to mend if I can't make the journey back myself. Love doesn't end when the journey does it, just finds new ways to return home.